Hello! We are back and comfier than ever. Let's go! Hello everyone, it's Olivia. Welcome back to Live and Learn. Last video I did was the choir vlog, I'm pretty sure. So it's been since like October and it's November now. But I was waiting because guys, I just did the whole like musical process and I was after school until 7 every day and I had to carry around like so much. Oh my gosh, there's hair on my face. I had to carry around so much stuff with me, like all my makeup and like character shoes, costume stuff like that. And I didn't want to have to lug the camera around with it. Like, I'm sorry guys, I'm just that lazy. So I'm going to do it at home and I'm going to do it now whenever I'm not busy. So today's episode is about diabetes because it is type 1 diabetes awareness month. And I know it's something that I don't know if this will be a very watched video, unfortunately, because not a lot of people care enough. And that's sad to me, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because I've been a diabetic for almost 6 years now, and I think it's so insane because it's gone by so fast. And it didn't feel like it would originally. I have a list of things that I'm going to talk about because I want you guys to know what diabetes is, because I reached out to Facebook groups that my mom is in, like groups for parents, and there's multiple things that they want to talk about. So we're gonna go straight into, like, first of all, some facts and then what they want me to talk about. Okay, first off, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, so it's not something that could have been brought on from bad habits. This is something I talk about with some people all the time. I really wish type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes were not called the same thing, because people look at it in such an unhealthy way, as if that person has done something for it to be caused. And I just want you to know and have it made known that they never did anything wrong, and their body is not how other people's bodies are. So it's basically the body's immune system. It attacks and destroys like all the cells that produce insulin in the pancreas, causing the pancreas to no longer be able to produce insulin, which your body needs to live. So that leads type 1 diabetics to be insulin dependent, meaning you either use a insulin pump or insulin pens. I personally use manually injected pens, so it's a little, I'm going to show you real quick. Let me show you what it looks like real fast. Okay, this is my diabetes bag, by the way. Look how cute she is. Okay, so the pens look like this. This is my brand, Humalog. And this is a Humalog Junior quick pen. I use the Junior just because it has half units. So if you see this here, I don't know if you can see or not, but it dials by the half and not by a whole, which a lot of others dial by a whole, and I like half just because a lot of the stuff I eat is like very tricky. And I'll get into that I'll get into that as well. Sorry. When you open it, this is all in here is the vial of insulin, and this is how much you've gone through from like here to here. And the little lines measure how much is in here. I don't really know how much is in here. I always forget. 100 units, I'm sorry. There we go. But it's, you can get it delivered to your house. I get mine from CVS, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, pretty cute, pretty tiny. And that's not the needle, if that makes sense. This is the pen. And this is a used needle, but you attach the needle, twist it on, pull this off, the needle will appear. Oh, I dropped it. Ignore. You dial it, push it out to release it into your body. I will grab that in a second. Along with that is like the daytime one. This is a nighttime pen. This is my Basal-Glar. Pretty much the same thing. I'm running pretty low on this one. I'll get a new one tonight probably. This one dials by wholes, not half. And yeah, you do this one at night, or I guess whichever time you're issued to do it. Mine's at night, but it's the long lasting, so it slowly affects your body's system pretty much. I don't really know how to word it other than that in the easier terms. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and that's what you have to use as a diabetic for the rest of your life as of now until there's a cure found, which sucks, but it's okay. Talking about insulin, this is the next fact. Insulin is a hormone, it's not a drug. So what I'm injecting is not drugs. So don't worry guys, if you see me just shooting up in class, it's hormones. Yeah. It's the hormone that allows energy to enter your cells. And literally everyone needs insulin to live. So that's why it is so important for us to take that and just take it multiple times a day, because we could literally die without it. Fun, fun, fun. Next one, type 1 diabetes is not preventable or reversible. Like I said, it's something that just happens to someone's body. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it can happen to anyone. And it's not something that you can take away. Like type 2, if you eat very healthy or take good care of yourself after getting diagnosed, there is a big possibility that you won't be insulin dependent and you won't have to deal with this, but type 1 diabetics have to deal with it for the rest of their life. Not fun. The next fact, type 1 diabetes is not contagious. If anyone thinks that, oh my gosh. I've never had anyone in my life that's thought it's contagious, but if someone ever thought it was contagious, I think I would laugh in their face. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but come on, y'all. Next one. People with type 1 diabetes can eat sugar. Oh my God. I get asked this all the time, and I know people don't mean for it to come off in like a mean or rude way, but it's literally like, are you sure you can eat that? And I'm like, yeah. They can. We actually look at the carbs on a package, not the sugars. Let me find, I have these popcorners that I just had when I got home. Let's look at this. So the nutrition facts on the back, right? A lot of you would think that we're looking for like the total sugars line when we're actually looking for the total carbohydrates. And this is how it works. So total carbohydrate, 22 grams. That is the number that I have. You divide by your, like a certain like number that you were given or that you use. I am given numbers because we talk to doctors every 3 months and figure out a number. Mine has stayed at 3 for the longest time. So if I, give me a second, go to my calculator and I go to 22 divided by 3, that is how many units I had to dose for that bag of chips. 7.3, and that's why I like my junior pen, because I can dial it by half. I just rounded up because it's 3. So I just did 7.5 units, and that's the correct way to do it. So yeah, we can eat sugars. We can also eat carbs, obviously. We can eat anything we want in moderation. It's supposed to be in a healthy way, and that's the biggest thing. You can enjoy your life. You can go to a birthday party and eat the cake. You just have to make sure you're having the right protein, drinking enough water, dosing the correct amount, and not doing that daily. That's the whole point, is everything is in moderation, and that's how it should be for every single human. So it's honestly not something that anyone should treat you differently for, or you should treat a diabetic differently for. They can't eat this. No, they can, and they can do it in a moderation or in a moderate way, and so can you, and so should you. It's literally all I can say about that. Let's see. Oh yeah, sometimes we literally need the sugar. If I'm having a low blood sugar, give me some candy right now. Give me some juice. That's my cookie, that's my juice. Sorry. Literally, it's needed. Next up, let's look. High and low blood sugars have a big impact. This is literally so true. Like, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I personally struggle with high blood sugars a lot more than low, because of stress. Every person's body, every diabetic's body is different, let alone person's body. Me, every time I am stressed out or anxious about something, my blood sugar goes high. And sometimes I don't even know I'm stressed. I will be on my way to school, and as my Life 360 car, little car thing, shows I'm getting closer to the school, my blood sugar goes up. It's like a little graph. It's so funny. And it's something that I always meet with my doctors about. They're like, this sucks, we need to get this looked at. I'm like, I know, help, SOS, SOS. And low blood sugars, they happen a lot for people if they accidentally dose too much, or it can sometimes randomly kick in at night, because it happens for me. I have to correct so many times because of my high blood sugars from school that sometimes it'll just ease me down until I go to bed, and it'll shoot down because that's where I'm at my most relaxed state. And then I have to eat something because there's so many like it kind of changes your mood too. Sorry to jump to something else, but when I have a low blood sugar, I get so mad at everyone. I'm so sorry, guys. For anyone that I've like snapped at, blame it on the blood sugar. Honestly, I'm pulling the diabetes card because it genuinely does change a person's personality. I get so irritable, so tired, sweaty, hungry, and shaky usually, and dizzy. Like I don't really know where I am. It's almost like a different state of consciousness. And when I'm high, that sounds so wrong. When my blood sugar is high, I'm sweating and my face gets red and like always hot. And I also am shaky and really thirsty. Need a lot of water. Can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you see if this is focused from where I am? Because I don't have the camera that flips.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. Sorry, my camera cut off because my card is full and I had to delete things. And also my dad came home and these dogs are being weird. Now we're going to get into what some people wanted me to talk about. So let me find it. Let's see. Maybe on screening that it can be showed if found early. But the beyond type 1 has a good awareness info with signs. Maybe here's a list. Maybe have her list some of the things to have. Okay. First of all, I'm going to mention signs of if you may be diabetic. Like, honestly, because it's very good to know. Because I almost died if I didn't find out sooner. If I found out literally, my doctor was like, if you wouldn't have found this out a week from now, you would have been dead. And I was like, oh, cool. So I was dropping weight like crazy. I literally got so skinny that all of my clothes were falling off and I had to tie them with like a hair tie. And I thought I was just going through puberty, of course, which makes no sense. I always needed water, like 24/7. I'm dog sitting for my grandma and this dog's deaf, by the way. She's deaf. She's completely deaf and old. So yeah, I needed water literally every 2 seconds and just to drink in general. I was always so thirsty. And because of that, I always had to pee. This might be TMI. I literally peed myself multiple times. That's how bad it was. I literally could not control my bladder because my body was so weak and it was shutting down. So I was dying for water because my blood sugar was so high that I was so dehydrated all the time. Peeing all the time. Sleeping all the time. I was so tired I couldn't do anything. So skinny. And I just like lost all the life in me. My body was genuinely dying and I didn't know. So if you start to feel like you're dropping a lot of weight very quickly and you're always thirsty, I'm not saying, yo, you're diabetic. I'm saying maybe book a doctor's appointment and see what's going on. It might be diabetes, it might not. I don't know. Let's see. Make her list some of the things type 1 diabetics have to consider at every meal. How many carbs? Do I have activity after? Or a test where low might cause beeping? Well, okay, so I kind of went into description of how I do this process, but during every meal, you're obviously not going to have like a nutrition info of everything on you unless you've made it by scratch, completely measured perfectly to the serving size. So when I go out to dinner, I use the Lose It app. I don't know if I can find it, but it's a nutrition app, or you could probably use MyFitnessPal. That's what I know a lot of people use, or whatever that's called. FitnessPal. One of those. And everything you eat, you can plug it in and kind of eyeball sizes when you're out to eat a dinner, but when you're at home, do your best to measure. And then you get your total number of carbs by everything. Divide that by your number. Mine is 3. My magic number is 3. And then dose by that amount, which I've talked about earlier. So that's kind of the process behind it. It's time consuming and it gets annoying to have to do that a lot. That's why I love when it's right on the package for me. I'm like, thank you. But who knows? This is something that one parent said. I had so many teachers come up and say we noticed the weight loss, but her being young didn't want to bring up her weight. I told them if you see it again, please tell the nurse at least so she can talk to the parents. Teachers, if you notice a kid going to the bathroom or guzzling water, say something. Could help a kiddo avoid DKA. Also, that even if they never ate sugar again, they'll still need insulin at some point. Yes, they can eat what they want. No, they didn't get it from too much sugar. No, cinnamon will not cure. Do a Mythbusters section. Oh my God. I will, because what are we talking about? Let's look this up. Common myths to cure. I didn't even know this was a thing, guys. What? Diabetes can be cured by herbal or spiritual treatments. There's no... Soaking wet feet... Sorry. Soaking feet in water reduces blood sugar levels. No. You can stop taking medication once your blood sugar is under control. Oh my God. Eating too much sugar directly... Nope. People with diabetes cannot eat any carb. Nope. Overweight people. Nope. I didn't know cinnamon was like someone's thing. People with diabetes can't get active. If you have to get active, like what? What do you mean get active? That must have been a typo. They probably meant be active. If you have diabetes, you're more likely to catch a cold. I mean, not a cold or a flu. Your immune system's already weak. So I understand COVID, but I don't know about a cold or a flu. People with diabetes can't. No. If you have diabetes, you automatically need insulin pills. Never had those in my life. Diabetes management will take over your life. So actually, no, I'm very involved as a student and as a human. I don't think it's taken over my life completely yet. We'll see though. So yeah, literally what are we talking about? There's no... Diabetes is diabetes. There's no cure. And there's no way to just magically stop it unless you are a scientist and Albert Einstein and have come up with something. Please hit me up. I would gladly want to know what you're thinking about. But cinnamon, no. Soaking your feet in water, no. Okay, this last section is 10 things school staff should know about type 1 diabetes. Since I am doing this as my school podcast, I feel like it was definitely something to take note of since there's a lot of teachers that always have to deal with their kids. So it's something that you should just keep noticing. Children will not outgrow type 1 diabetes. With type 1 diabetes, the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin have been destroyed, as we've talked about earlier. People with type 1 diabetes will always have to take insulin injections until there is a cure. Changes in lifestyle or diet will not improve type 1 diabetes. So if you're talking to your student and they're just venting about this, or they need someone to talk to, and you're like, well, this won't last forever. Don't give them false hope, because it literally will last forever until there's a cure. Not in a bad way. Not that it's awful. I mean, it sucks, but there's so much more than that in life. Number 2, insulin is not a cure. Okay, we already talked about this one. It takes a lot of work to manage diabetes. Yes, it does. Children with type 1 diabetes usually look healthy. That's because they and their families are working hard to keep blood sugar levels in a target range. They do this by checking levels frequently and acting quickly when needed, such as adding insulin to account for a special treat or having a snack because of extra physical activity. Because that is true. If you're an active person and you also have diabetes, it can do 2 different things. It can either raise it or lower it. For me, mine gets raised because, again, I'm working hard and I kind of get stressed out. But I've heard for a lot of people it lowers it because it's like physical activity. You're burning energy. You're burning everything, honestly. So, I don't know. For me, it's different. Technology is helpful, but it doesn't work on its own. Some students wear insulin pumps to deliver insulin. A pump is another way to deliver insulin, and whether or not to use a pump is an individual choice. Other students wear continuous glucose monitors, which is the CGM. I have one on my stomach. And those take blood sugar readings every few minutes. True. But none of these devices... But none of these devices work on their own. People still have to carefully monitor blood sugar, food intake, and activity, and make decisions about how much insulin to give and when. This is another thing about this, especially with the phone policy. Since I have a 504 plan, which is like a plan that supports my diabetes, I get to have my phone in school. I don't like, I'm not just like on it all the time, but I have it on desks with me because if my phone is too far away from my body, my blood sugar will not be read through my app. And I always feel guilty about that. I always feel guilty that my phone's out and other people's phones aren't out, but I genuinely need it. And it's something that is really bad about the phone policy. I mean, if someone didn't have a plan yet or they're newly diabetic, they won't catch on to that. And school is the most important time to have it on you because that's when you're focused on other things and you're not worried about it and you don't have time to just worry about that, at least in my book. So I need my phone. Sorry, guys. Blood sugar levels can change quickly. It is important to check blood sugar often because there are many factors that can cause it to change from minute to minute. This is very true. I will be doing anything and then randomly either drop down so low that I'm shaking and can't think straight or go completely high and start sweating. It has a mind of its own, unfortunately, especially for kids and teenagers going through puberty and going through a lot of life changes. And it is so important to make sure there's people there for you and stuff like that happens because having a support system whenever you're going up and down like a big roller coaster is honestly the best thing to keep someone stable. And I think as a teacher or as fellow students, peers, stuff like that, just having an eye out for someone that you know something could happen to them, which it could happen to anyone. It's just very sweet and a very good thing to do. And it can randomly drop very quickly, very fast, and it needs to be taken care of immediately because it is so urgent. Because if someone reaches even too low, they could fall into a coma. They could have a seizure. Like, it gets pretty bad to the point where it gets almost fatal, if, like, fatal. They can fall into some state where they will not be able to wake up out of that, or they will be in a deep condition afterwards if they don't take care of themselves. It is something that is literally life or death, and it's very important to worry about and to have as your top priority when that happens. It's like, my blood sugar's low, let me do some homework. No, girl, go eat some candy. I don't play about that one. Let's see, what's on my list next? Sorry, I keep turning my phone off. I have to turn it on again. High blood sugar means extra trips to the bathroom. It's true. This might be something you don't want to hear about, but if your blood sugar is high, you got to flush out of your system. Dose extra, drink a lot of water, pee it out. You have to keep flushing fluids through, so you're going to need to pee a lot. So if you have a student that is like, I really have to go to the bathroom, I'm so sorry that I just went 30 minutes ago, my blood sugar's high. Yes, absolutely, please go. It's something that is just very considerate because it is something that we literally have to do a lot. I try not to go to the bathroom that much, but my blood sugar's high. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta pee. I keep turning my phone off. This is my bad. What's the next one? We only have like 3 more. Kids with diabetes can still eat sweets. True. If you're having a party in your class and you have like cookie cake or something, let's get them grapes because they're diabetic. No. You know what? Both have carbs, by the way. Fruit, same amount of dosing, honestly, than like a cookie. Depends on how much you have, but if you have like a fruit bowl and you have like a single cookie, it might be pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. Because we look for carbs again, guys, not sugar. Remember that. Carbs, not sugar. Carbs, sugar. Carbs, sugar, which one? Carbs. That's all I'm saying. Even students who are independent may still need help manage diabetes. This is so true. I am very independent. Since I was diagnosed, I did it on my own because I knew that at some point I will be on my own very soon. Now, guys, and it's just, even then, there's gonna be moments where it's like, I literally can't take this wrapper off because I'm shaking so bad. Can you please do it for me? Or, hey, I feel like if I walk from here to here, I might fall. Can you walk with me? I sometimes have people walk me to the nurse. I've had that happen during school because I just don't feel comfortable, even though I am a very independent person with anything, let alone diabetes. So if you have a student who has diabetes and you know them to be independent and they say they need help, please take that and run with it so quickly because they will need the help if they're saying that they need the help. And if you notice them being a little off, let them have someone help them, honestly. Even if they deny it, they will probably need the help. Kids with diabetes want to be like everyone else. Oh, this one's so sad. It's true. I would kill to not have to worry about all the extra stuff that I worry about every day. It is, I hate to say it, but it's very tiring. Because I'm injecting myself with a hormone that's affecting my mental health, my physical health. It does affect you. There's so many side effects to insulin. There's side effects to having diabetes because it's messing with your body. If you're high a lot, it's gonna affect you. If you're low a lot, it's gonna affect you. And it's very hard to keep yourself balanced, especially in certain stages of life. For specific people. For me, it's very difficult. And you're constantly having to make choices for your well-being, and you're constantly having to fight to stay alive every day. Because if you give up just one day, you could easily be in the hospital the next day. And it took me a really long time to learn that, and it took me a really long time to accept it. But it's so true that it is genuinely a fight, a constant fight. But it's also something that needs to be accepted for what it is. And just to be lucky that we have what we have now, and we have insulin pumps, glucose monitors, stuff that we have with technology that allows us to like have some of that weight lifted off our shoulders is such a blessing. And I really hope we work towards a cure shortly. I don't know if we will. I really hope we do. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very passionate about this. I love talking about it because it's something that I live with, and I've lived with for 6 years. But I really want everyone to feel normal. Every diabetic. That's the biggest part. We just want to feel like everyone else and let everyone know that it is okay to be different. You are like everyone else, but it is also okay to be different. And you're loved no matter what. I don't know what else, but I am happy that I got to do this episode because it is something I'm very passionate about. In January, my NHS committee is doing diabetic care packages, having us all get together, make packages, and then hopefully send it out to Children's Mercy. I'm trying to talk with them now about stuff. And send them little words of encouragement in the packages. So if anyone's oh my gosh, if anyone's listening to this and they want to take any part in it, I'm not asking you to go out and buy stuff like some members of my committee are. I'm asking you to maybe take the time to write a little note that will go to these newly diabetic children, because where they're going is to basically a class that I had to sit through. Then the day after you're diagnosed, you sit in a room and you're taught how to live for like 12 hours. And it's exhausting, and it's so much information thrown at once. And it's really just a bad day. And I want to make that day better for them. And I want to make them know that I had that day too, and this is where I am. So if anyone wants to take part in that, even just like a couple sentences of kindness, if you would write it on paper, give it to me, that'd be really amazing. If not, I still feel supported by you watching this video fully. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next episode will probably be about something a little more universal, but I hope this gave you guys a little more of an outlook on type 1 diabetes and a better perspective of what it is and more understanding. So yeah, that is it. Bye my lovelies. I love you. I will see you next time.